What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Today, I have a special guest. Jonah, I met him a while ago, and I really met him at community camp, and I've seen him grow a lot since, even though when I met him, he was pretty big. Jonah is doing about 100K a month through wholesale and other companies that he has. As a matter of fact, he's actually about to lock up a deal right now. So he said, give me a really long intro. Um, so I'm gonna give him a long intro. I'm gonna
to sign the contract, and it's a 15K baby. I just need him to see it. I just need him to see my message to sign the freaking contract.
Just spam him. Just spam him.
Yeah.
Yes. So, bro, like, holy moly, dude. Holy moly. I'm quite impressed with the results that you've created. But you know, the thing that really impresses me out of all of it is the fact that you went for so long trying and not seeing results, and you saw it through to completion, and you finally like popped and boom, now you're seeing great results. So I want to ask you some questions and then open it up to the audience afterwards, but I want to start off by really diving into that journey that you had before the success, because that often gets overlooked. Lots of people see success, but they don't see the hard work and the struggles that went into having that breakthrough.
Yeah.
So, bro, welcome to the show. Thank you, Jonah.
Thank you. Well, it's always good to be here with you, my man.
Thank
It was
you.
cool meeting you in community camp, and also you made a good impression on everybody. You were a what was it? This big sign and like the microphone. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I brought a giant meme and I held it above my head. It had like a QR code and everybody was going into a funnel, and I was like marketing to them while I was out there.
I loved it. Anyways, I loved it, bro. I've loved watching your journey also, and yeah, no, I'm happy to help out and
Thank you,
hang out.
bro. Thank you. So dude, like, how was it? Like when you first started working towards wholesale and whatnot to now, how much time did it take you for you to like actually succeed? And what were some of the big hurdles that you had to go over and the lessons that you learned to get here?
So in real estate in general, I mean, there are so many lessons, right? In real estate, just learning how to talk to people, learning how to connect with other human beings, figuring out how to make a business. There are so many different hurdles. Um, Probably the biggest first hurdle, I would say, was just focusing. I tried to do too many things at once.
Mhm.
I tried to get deals from agents, I tried to get deals from sellers, and I tried to get deals from wholesalers, right?
Mm.
Eventually, I just chose a method, right? What you need to do, guys, is you need to be staying on the path of like whatever you choose, just focus on it and stick with it. You can try a bunch of different things, just realize you won't make any money. Like when you're ready to actually start making money, you choose something, you go all in, you do that for a couple years, right? And then once you do that, then you're good.
Mhm.
Then you're sticking with it, right? So, um, yeah, like I tried to do too many different things, and then I eventually stuck to direct to agent because I like talking to agents. I think that's the best way to get deals, to be honest. And so, yeah, I would say, and it's just like one of those things. It's like building three bridges. You're trying to
Mhm.
cross a river. That's called creating a business. And then you see Jamil built a stone bridge, Pace built a brick bridge, and then Brent built a wooden bridge. And everyone sees all three, and they're like, "Wow, I'm gonna build all three bridges in order to cross the river." And it's like, you
Mhm.
idiot, just build one bridge. You just need to cross
Mhm.
the river. It doesn't help to build three bridges across the river, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that was my biggest mistake at the beginning, I feel like. And once I focused, then I started getting deals like left and right.
Wow, yeah, because lots of people are like, there's this opportunity here, there's this opportunity. Yeah, you could build three bridges, but how long is it going to take you? Are you going to lose morale before completing that project?
Hmm. Yeah, and also
So,
it's just like, why? You just need to cross the river once. You just need to get
mhm,
rich. That's the point, right, guys? So to do that, you just need to do that. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just do it the way that fits with your personality, and you actually get there.
mhm, mhm. So, like, where were you at when you first started? you were trying multiple different things. Like, how was it? Like, were you doing this full time? Were you still working a job? Like, how did you
I had a
get through that
part-time job.
hurdle?
At the very beginning, I had a part-time job where I was, I had a part-time job where I was like taking care of this elderly lady during COVID, right? That's what I was doing at the beginning, but it was like 3 hours a day type of thing.
Mhm.
And then I would do wholesaling on the other side. So I sort of had a job, not really.
Okay. So you had income coming in, you were doing wholesaling on the side. How many months went by before you locked up your first deal?
Ooh, so my first deal was after 4 months. Then I didn't get
Mhm.
another deal for another 8 months or 9 months.
Ooh, wow.
And that was why, and that was because I wasn't focusing. I was separated between my direct to seller business, my direct to agent business, and my micro flipping business, right?
Mm,
And if you don't focus on one, then it becomes really hard. What I eventually did is I phased out direct to seller and micro flipping, and then I just focused on agents, and then I started making way, way, way more money. Way, 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 way more money, right?
mhm.
So
Bro, one
yeah,
thing that fascinates me is you went 8 months without getting a deal. How how was that mentally? Because so many
that
people
was
they
terrible.
go two,
It
three
was
months and
fucking
they're just
awful.
out.
I wanted to like we were talking about this beforehand. Jamil talks about this a lot, where I'm just like, man, I feel screwed. I am like not feeling good. Astro used to not have Jamil in it. It used to be Josiah. And
Mhm,
Jamil, funny enough, came on the call right when I was feeling really bad. I was like not
mhm,
having a good time just because like it just wasn't working. And it was annoying the hell out of me that it wasn't working. Right. Um, so because of that, I just wanted to be successful and it was really stressful and didn't have any money and I was tired of not having any money. And then eventually it started working out. And then I got a couple deals, some 20Kers, and then one of my direct to seller deals finally hit. And direct to seller in the Bay Area is huge. That was my one of my biggest deals ever. That was like 165K profit. Ended up with double
mhm.
closing costs, 145K. And then once I made that, I was like, okay, now the
Wow.
work is starting to become worth it. Now we're starting
Yeah.
to make some actual money, right?
Mhm.
And then moved out of my parents' place, uh, you know, and started making stuff happen. And yeah, and I mean, like it's crazy how it happens. Is like I keep forgetting that like in comparison to where I used to be, I'm so much more successful. But because I see the
Mm,
road ahead, I have so much more I want to be doing. I feel like I
mm,
barely started, right? I compare
mhm,
myself to Jamil and Pace. I'm like, wow, I am way behind these guys.
mhm,
I wouldn't consider myself financially free, really. Like
mhm,
if I would still have to do things in my business in order to make sure it's making money, right? It's not like on autopilot completely. It makes a lot of money, but it's not on autopilot. I'm in the owner operator phase of my
mm,
business where I own it and I have a lot of employees, but I'm still managing it, right? I'm still in a few roles that I'm going to be out of very soon, other than manager. But when I can get out of the manager role and that's still actually producing money, that's when I'm going to be like really happy where I am. Or maybe I won't be. Who knows? Maybe I'm just gonna keep being like fucking. I need more money, or I need
So
not more
you
money. I need to be helping more people. I need to be doing more fun stuff. I need to be creating more stuff, and I need to be becoming more successful.
so wait a
Right?
minute. Money doesn't buy happiness?
It doesn't buy happiness. Money's like oxygen. This is. I'm not as big of a fan of Kanye West nowadays, but he had a good quote where it was money's like oxygen. It doesn't. If you have an abundance of it, you don't care. If you don't have any of it, then you start caring a lot, right? That's all money is, right? If you make like honestly, if you make like 150, if you make like 200K to you every single year, like I don't know what you could possibly be needing more money for. You can basically do almost anything if you're single and don't have any kids. So maybe make that like 400K if you got kids and have a wife and stuff like that. But if you start hitting those types of numbers, then I don't know, money becomes pointless at that point. unless like you're just gonna start balling out on private planes and shit. Which that'd be fun, and I do have goals to do stuff like that, but it's just that doesn't increase happiness. What increases
Mhm.
happiness is being able to do things like on my story recently, like, and I don't do this to brag, I did it because I want other people to donate, is like I donated like $8,000 to like a charity that I really
Mm.
like, right? I try to donate
Mhm.
like 10% of my income of whatever I
Mhm.
get, right? And I've been slacking recently. I hadn't donated in a while. I had to catch up. Um,
Mhm.
but that was 10% of like some of caught up payments that I hadn't been paying. And that's a
Mhm.
really good feeling. Being like I can donate money to causes that I really believe in. I can do really cool things. Like I'm gonna go on a vacation with my dad to Iceland in the middle of the year, and I'm gonna be
Mm.
in Florida at the end of this month. At the end of February, I got to hang out in California for a month instead of having to stay in Denver and working. I can work wherever. So anyway, it's a good life, but
Mhm.
still wanted a lot more, right?
As you've grown to this massive company that you've built so far, and of course you're looking at it from the perspective of like I'm not pacing Jamil, but we're looking at it from the perspective of like this is massive, this is goals for us. um, did your problems diminish, or are you just greeted with bigger problems now?
Yeah, now I mean it's like lifting. Do you exercise? Do you do any sports or anything like that?
Yeah, I
What's your sport?
exercise.
Or what's your exercise?
Just hitting the gyms.
Okay, easy. So
Yeah.
lifting weights, right? The first time you go to the gym, you put on two plates, or you put on one plate, I mean, on each side, and that's tough for you.
Mhm.
What eventually happens is you eventually get to two plates, and that's tough for you. So the problems just get bigger, and but you're
Mhm.
able to handle them more, right? I don't necessarily believe in God, but I do believe in the universe gives you the problems you're ready to deal with. Until
Mhm.
you've self-developed enough to conquer something, the universe won't give you that problem yet. You have to self-develop as a human being to be able to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Like, you won't be given the challenges until you're ready to handle them. Like I won't be given $1 million a year until I'm like responsible and ready to be able to handle that is kind of the way I'm interpreting it.
Yep,
I like
exactly.
that,
That's
bro.
exactly how it works, right? So, yeah. So it's just like it's still the same problems, right? And then it gets
Mhm.
stress, and then like initially the stress is, I don't have any money, right?
Mhm.
Now the stress is like, damn, like okay, we've got like 3 months of payroll or 4 months of payroll, right? Like we really
Mhm.
got to like start hitting it, you know? Um,
Mhm.
and that's stressful in a different way, right? And I don't know if that ever ends. I feel like that's just being a business owner. It's like being able to handle stress and mitigate it, find ways of reducing it, and then just moving forward anyways, and being like, I'm going to do this or die, which is basically how I
Mhm.
feel about my business anymore. It's like there's no
Bro.
way I'm going to ever make any money any way else other than wholesaling and real estate and this type of game, right? Or buying
Mhm.
businesses. And I'm not dying poor. Like I'm going to be rich as hell, and I'm going to be able to do what I want in my life and help the people that I want with my life. So it's this or die. When you put
Mhm.
it like that, also, it makes life way easier. Where it's like if you're complaining about something you have to do, it's like, well, it's this or die. So
Mhm.
it has to happen, right? So the
I
question
love
is
that.
like, is your business, does it have to happen? Does it not have to happen? I was blessed in the sense that I never had a W-2 ever.
Mhm.
So there are people who are like, it doesn't have to happen. I could get a 150K job. I don't know. I can't even imagine what I would do other than this. So
Yeah,
no.
I feel you on that. Like, there's no other option. It's gotta
There just
happen.
isn't another option.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even if
Eventually,
we
that's
were to
something I talked with Marlon the other day because
Mhm.
I went on a 6 mile run with him,
Yeah.
which is incredibly hard for me, but
Yeah.
incredibly easy for him.
Mhm.
And I was like, my goal is I'm gonna stick up with you the entire time. You aren't getting ahead of me uh, at all. I'm gonna be right by your side the entire time. And he was really impressed. And we talked about the principle of like I didn't give myself another option. There was no other option to just start walking at some point.
Mhm.
Um, And when you do that, then it's the no other option principle. When you've just committed to the fact there's no other option, then it just becomes easier to just do whatever you have to do.
Bro, I agree. I have a lot of people that speak to me and they use words like I'm thinking about starting or I'm trying or this and that. And I often correct them. Like if you say you're trying, like I don't think you're really committed. Like you're either doing it or you're not doing it.
Yeah, changing your language is key. I still struggle with that. I still say things that aren't there, that needs to be like way more committed on certain things. It's hard.
Mhm.
I get it. I get it to everyone who's here. It's very hard. You have to be watching, you have to be standing at the gate of the door of your mind of what's entering
Mhm.
and what's coming out of it too.
Yeah. Hey, why don't we get some of these questions in
You
the
got a lot
side
of
chat?
comments on here, bro.
Yeah, look at this. My audience engages a lot because I talk to them. I love talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. Give me a get what kind of emoji should we get in the side chat? Jonah, what do you think? What's your favorite
You can
emoji?
create emojis in the side chat.
Yeah.
Do like a money symbol.
Guys,
Kind
put
of.
a money emoji in the side chat. Put a money symbol, a money emoji in the side
Oh, you're
chat.
so right.
Yeah. Blow this thing up with a money emoji.
Rocket's not
Show
bad.
some love for Jonah. There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
I know some
Awesome
of those
guys.
names.
Yeah, I know.
Luke's
They're
in the
all
chat.
amazing
Luke's
people.
my guy.
Bro,
So is
Luke
Dan.
is yoked. Did you see that video that he made the other day? It was so funny. Me and Cody Galloway, we were talking on the live stream about like, hey man, a guy with muscles like you should be doing like 2 to 3 deals a month. All you got to do is like flex your biceps and say send me deals. So he
All right.
clips that video of the live stream and then he puts the video and then a picture of him curls equal deals and it like the beat just dropped right as the photo changed. It was so funny.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Appreciate
So
it. On Facebook.
what's that?
Just a lot of Facebook. I'm just reading them.
Yeah. So Rustum DV says, how much should that focus be? I'm doing MLS outreach. Should I avoid wholesalers, wholesale agents who are reaching out to me? So I believe this brings us back to the context when you're talking about being in every single lead generation strategy.
Yes. I know that's an unpopular thing, but yeah. If you feel like MLS is the right way to go, and we can talk about which way you should go, Rustum. But if you've done the work where you know it's the right way to go, then yeah, why do anything else? If there's one thing that's making you money, focus on it. The more I focus in on what's actually making money, the more money I make every single time. Always. The more focus you do. I first was like direct to seller, direct to agent, micro flipping in the Bay Area, Sacramento, LA, and all of Colorado. That was how it started. Then I went to just SF Bay Area and Sacramento. Then I went to just direct to agent. And once I focused in more, my money started multiplying. Right? So yeah, no, don't do anything else. Everything else you should just avoid. Obviously, if someone sends you it and it's just immediately a good deal, that's fine. But there's a whole difference between like just getting sent a deal than like doing wholesaler outreach, right? So, yeah.
Good stuff. Belissi Aro says, talking about focus, what's the difference between having a job and focusing on one business than focusing on two businesses without a job?
Talking about focus, what's the difference between having a job and focusing on one business? Well, first off, they're basically the same. There's the same problem. Your time is divided between different things. Having a job and then focusing on one business is an issue because your time is split between the job and the business. Focusing on two businesses is even worse because a job at least ends after it's only 9 to 5. A business is 7 to 9, right? So now you're splitting up focus between job or businesses that really should be 12 to 14 hours a day each at the beginning. And you're trying to do both of them. You're half-assing two businesses, which is dumb. You should do one business. Just stop doing other things, right? There is a point where you can diversify, but you have to earn that. You have to get to the point where like, and this comes into partnerships. you get to the point where people want to partner with you with your unique skill set. Mine is finding deals. So I find different types of deals and then partner with operators that can make those deals work if it's not a wholesale deal. But you need to first become an expert at just one thing and become insanely good at it.
Bro, that leads us to a question that I was actually thinking before the show is like, how do you handle the multiple different businesses? And you kind of dived in on it there is like, earning the right to be able to take on that extra responsibility. But like, how is that having the multiple different businesses?
So for me, I mean, I still have my main business that is the vast majority of my focus, which is wholesaling, right? Then I have other businesses like I every once in a while will do a flip. And then I also have my other businesses like Simple Send, and I have affiliates and social media. Social media is a business in and of itself, in my opinion, right? That feeds into the other businesses. The only reason I'm able to do it is because I have a partner now. I have an integrator, right? If you're not at that level, I just don't recommend starting to split yourself up into a bunch of different things. Like at some point, I think the end game for everyone is to either hire a COO, which is another way of a fancy way of saying an integrator, or partner up with a COO. Or if you're a COO, partner up with a visionary or a CEO. That is the end game. Until that happens, you're not really able to split off and do different businesses, right? That's how I view it. And the people who try to do it too early are like gonna screw themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Guys, keep putting your questions in the chat. I really want this to be like for you guys. I don't want to hog all the questions from Jonah here. I know I have a multitude of questions, but guys, keep throwing yours in the chat. This is for you guys. While we're waiting for some more questions to come in. Oh,
You didn't ask
that
this one.
deal. What's that?
Starting, would you recommend doing both MLS listings and agent outreach? It's kind of the same question I did earlier.
Who's that one? Where is it? I'll put it up on the screen.
Gershman. There's some questions coming in on the Facebook ones.
Maybe I'm skipping the. Let's see here.
Or maybe
here we go. Jared.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, Jared.
Yeah,
I missed that.
So this is an interesting one. Here's the thing. Agent outreach. So MLS listings, what you should be doing is whether you get the property that's listed or not, you should then be putting that agent into a follow-up campaign for when they're sending you more stuff, right? MLS listings, in my opinion, is just a lead generation technique for agent outreach, if that makes sense. MLS listings goes under agent outreach, right?
Dude, it's like
I get agent numbers from MLS. I don't call about the property, but I get their phone numbers from it, right? So, yeah, I would say that it just kind of depends.
Bro, I'm so passionate about this.
They're one and the same is the answer, really.
Jonah, I am so passionate about this, bro. I totally agree with you. MLS offers is agent outreach, but you're reaching out to the right agents, the agents that have what you want.
Yeah, I like it. It's not, I don't reach about the property. I reach out to them to just start talking to them. I reach out to when they, not just fixers they've listed, but like everyone, any listing they've ever had. I do a shotgun approach, but those are really good agents, the ones that are listing fixers, right?
100%. Here we have another question. Ahmed said, was there a moment you had doubt about your strategy since you got your second deal closed after 8 months, and how to stay consistent and disciplined?
That's an interesting question. I'm always doubting different things. The overall strategy, no, but doubting how I'm doing the strategy, yeah, all the time. Like me and Tyler are like, damn, maybe we should throw in some lead managers in here, which is not what Keegley does. We're like diverging from Keegley. We want to try something new that might be revolutionary or terrible. I have no idea what's going to happen, right? So I don't know. So sometimes but not the overall strategy.
or are you doubting yourself?
I'm doubting how I'm doing it. Yeah, so kind of myself. So obviously you can doubt yourself sometimes, but I knew it was the right strategy because I made so much money in it overall. But how to make it into a business, the strategy of turning it into a business that other people can make money, it's not just me. I'm not working 14 hours a day. That's a whole nother ball game. But that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm like in the process of being like scaling my business and making sure it happens right, which is always the hardest part. The hardest part of business is not getting a deal, guys. The hardest part is turning it into an actual business instead of a hustle. Easily.
So is that like pulling yourself out of the business and having the business continue to grow?
Yep.
Interesting. We have this question here from Tina. Tina says, I know this is primarily for wholesaling, but I'm interested in how your experience with money lenders that are wanting to fund at 80% or more. I'm really hesitant to use them and find myself in a situation where my funds are tied up till I can sell home and recoup my funding. Do you understand
I don't just do wholesaling. I do flips. I've done buy and holds, right? So I've dealt with these lenders before. What you do is you use private money, right? This thing. What you do is you use private money for that other 20%, right? Unless it's Chase, most of these lenders, a lot of times, aren't super harshly checking where you're getting the 20% from. It depends where, but most real estate investors don't use any of their own money. They use other people's money to finish projects, right? So you shouldn't be afraid of that. What you should be doing, Tina, is learning how to raise private money, which I'm constantly doing, right? I make a lot of money in wholesaling, but I have over $1 million in private money too that's available to me at any moment. I don't know, like not any moment. It would take me a little while to get it, but I'm constantly raising private money and trying to get people returns on their investments. And also I private money lend myself. I just wired $82,500 for a friend of mine's project that I know they're going to do well on. I'm going to get like a 15% return on that. Right. So yeah.
How are you? How do you raise your private money? Is that just through social media and networking?
Mostly social media, doing meetups, all of that stuff. That's the vast majority of it. Other than that, it's just family and friends and Sub2 and Astro and all that. But the vast majority is social media, because social media is the credibility, right? Once you're credible, then people are willing to give you their money.
I agree. Hey, for me to pop in a question here, how has social media played into your success?
It grows everything else. So it gets me more deals. It makes it where people are constantly sending me deals. It makes it where people buy my CRM. It makes it where people buy more of my shit, right? And it's fun. And you look like a cool kid, right? People take you more seriously. They take you at the table, right? If I'm talking to an agent now, I can send them to my Instagram and they're going to be like, wow, this guy has 9.5K followers. This guy's like legit immediately. I don't even really need to send them a flip anymore. I could just be like, look at all the stuff I'm doing. Here's me talking, right? Here's me doing projects. Then they basically get everything that it's a credibility thing immediately. Also, it's how it gives you everything you would ever need. Private money for your business. It helps you get more money. It's a lead generating magnet. It also makes you more credible. So it just brings in more and more money, right?
I like that. Question here for you from RC. Do you rather cold call agents or text agents?
I always text agents, and I do it through my CRM, which anybody can get. It's www.simplesend.com. Without we can plug it later. But you guys, my CRM is completely set up where it's an automatic texting campaign thing. So
tell them how you do that. Let's dive into your CRM for a moment. Tell them like how your process works for reaching out to the agents.
So if you guys want the literal scripts that are used, I'll give you guys those for free. stay till the end of the podcast and follow Nathan, my audience. Follow Nathan, subscribe to him. You send me a screenshot of that on my Instagram, I'll give you the link for all my scripts, all my SOPs, everything I've used to make my 100K business if you follow Nathan on all his platforms, right?
Thank you,
And
bro.
then send me a screenshot of it and I'll send you the link for that. That's totally free. How I do it basically is it's initially the whole process of the Scorch method is you get the agent's phone number, their name from brokerage websites, from MLS data, a scraper that we use that's also on Simple Send. We use a scraper that's proprietary that we now resell, and you can, and it's like $400 or $500, and then you get it and then you own it, and you can use it to scrape any market in America for all the agents' contacts, right? We use those 3 methods to get agent phone numbers. We upload it to our CRM. We press the go button, and then it sends a text one day, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a real estate investor. Got any deals? And then it's like next day, hey, did you get that? Next day, hey, like, are you trying to like work with investors, or are you not doing this, or what's up? Right? And that makes you seem like a human. And then they respond on the 3rd text. That's how you get them to respond to you. I never cold call agents. It's not my thing. I think I don't know. People have success with it. It was never my thing.
But it's challenging to scale cold calling. Like you have to bring in humans for cold calling.
Exactly. And there's just so many agents that'll respond by text that like probably if I started doing cold calling, I could increase the amount of agents that will answer, right? Certain people just don't answer texts and certain people don't answer calls, right? It depends on the human being. So I would hit a lot more people, right? I used to cold call sellers, but and it's an interesting thing that I might want to talk to Tyler about eventually. But I don't. I just text and then set up a call and then call them when it's warm.
And is that like manual set up a call, or do you are you trying the bots?
Well, I mean, I own a business now, right? So the person who does the lead generating needs to pass it off to an acquisition manager somehow, right? A salesperson. And so they set up calls for the salespeople. If you're doing this by yourself, just call the person. As soon as they respond to your text, just call them immediately and try to do an intro call for 5 minutes. Do that immediately.
But in this scenario, like for example, with you in your business, you're trying to outsource the lower value tasks, right? And then if you get on the phone, you want to be having those high value conversations.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Luke says, are you looking to hold multifamily?
Obviously, Luke, send me your deals. Get me the multifamily in Minnesota or Michigan or wherever the hell you live.
There you go.
I definitely want to buy multifamily.
Todrick has a question for you. He says, is Jonah focusing on direct to seller or on market? Any multifamily?
Well, he must have joined late because I'm not doing any direct to seller, and we had a whole conversation. I'm not going to repeat the conversation I had about that, but I'm not doing on market either. Really, I'm doing off market agent outreach. Right? I do some on market deals, but that's not. I can get agent phone numbers from the market, but I'm not like focusing on market. And multifamily, I'm always down to look at a multifamily deal. I really want to own more stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be creative if it's multifamily. Also, besides CO in any other markets. Now, as of right now, no. Tyler and I are eventually going to try to set up like a micro flipping system where we could micro flip anywhere. But CO and CA is like where we're like actively working.
Put me on the.
I'll buy multifamily anywhere that has good landlord laws. So in terms of wholesaling, that would be in there, and then in terms of fix and flipping, and wholesaling, and creative, then Colorado and California.
Bet. Ahmed has a really good question, and I actually resonate with this question as well. Any tips about imposter syndrome and how to overcome it?
Here's the easiest way to overcome it is realize that everybody is lying somewhat about how much business they're doing or are mistaken. I literally told you right before this, Nathan, it's not, my business isn't really making 100K a month. It's making like 80 to 85K a month, right? I learned that recently. I was like, shit, shouldn't have said that, right? If you include all my other sources of income, probably it ends up being 800K plus per month if I like calculated them. But nonetheless, everyone is making themselves look good online in social media. So few people actually have a business. So few people are making money. The people who are making money are people who do deals but don't own a business. Or if you own a business, you're probably not making that much money. The most amount of money to me I ever made was me and a virtual assistant to this day. If I hit my goals this year, what ends up in my pocket probably will be like 150, 160K, 150 to 200K post taxes, which is a lot of money. But I made 350K to me when it was just me and one other VA. I worked like a dog, but people who own businesses, you don't get to keep nearly as much as you think of that. So even though my business is making like $1 million a year, how much of that does the person actually get to keep? And then how much is he working for that, right? The goal really is to own a business. You got to be making like $3, $4, $5, $10 million, and then that actually starts working, right?
Yeah, I saw your post the other week. It was like, I think like almost 50,000 in payroll.
Oh yeah,
bro, that's crazy, and that's a lot of pressure. How do you
it's
handle the pressure?
It's a lot of pressure to have high levels of payroll. I mean, you got to pay people, right? That's with all the commissions and everything. Like we've had, and that was in 2 weeks. That wasn't for a whole month. That was for 2 weeks, right? Now that was a really good month, so there was a lot of commissions getting paid, right? But we'll hit payroll. Will be like, if you took the total payroll, probably 20 to 25K per month if nobody made any deals, but people make deals, so it ends up being more, right? So yeah, running a business is not cheap. If you don't want to be in it, you got to pay people actually salaries. People have families to feed. You got to pay them like real money, not monopoly money. Even if I wish I could pay them monopoly money. So it's stressful. It's a new type of stress. Now I have to feed everyone else. So I would say, to answer the question though, is everybody is a little bit. Pace is a little bit. Jamil is a little bit. Brent is a little bit. These guys are making money, but a lot of times they're exaggerating a little bit, right? Someone says they have $100 million in real estate, they probably have like 50 to 80, depending, right? Still great, but very few people. Usually, people like making things sound good. So I hope that helps you, makes you feel better. Is that everybody's a bit of an imposter anyway.
We could say everybody has a vanity number.
Yeah.
Like everybody has that number that just kind of sounds good, but might be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a really good question, bro. Thank you for answering that. Yeah, you're right, because like social media is just the highlights.
Looking at other people, bro. That's the whole thing. Just stop looking at everyone else and just focus on you.
Rustum says, if I'm doing MLS and agent outreach at the same time, like you mentioned before, can I scale it?
Okay, here's the thing. Rustum, what do you think MLS is a type of agent outreach in my head. So I'm kind of confused. Do you mean like off-market agent outreach? I'm assuming that's what you mean. But really, you should be doing both. And yes, you can scale it. I've done it. Jamil's done it. So obviously, yes.
Dominique says, what are your thoughts on land deals?
They're great. I haven't done any, though. I know people who make a ton of money on land deals. I've never made money on a land deal yet.
Jared says, what is the hardest thing you've had to overcome in your real estate journey?
Who knows, bro? It's a constant. It's a lot of fun, and it's a constant struggle. I don't know. One of the hardest was giving up half of my business to my business partner, right? That was a struggle, but I'm so much more happy that I did it. It was what my business needed, but that was expensive. I used to get paid a lot more when I owned the entire business, right? But also now I see us being able to scale to 5, 10 million, which is what has to happen for it to be worth it, right? There's a lot of things, right? There are a lot of things that are bad.
How was that bringing on a business partner?
It's good, bro. I think eventually it's what most people should do at some point. If you're trying to become rich, if you're trying to you can do what Brent Daniels did, for instance, which was like, I think he was like in the business wholesaling for like 15 years, eventually created a company that makes a ton of money. And now he keeps like 40 to 50K a month to him post taxes, right? That's just a longer play. It depends what you want. What do you want, right? You don't need a business partner if you just want like a lifestyle business. If you want to become extraordinarily wealthy, then you're going to need a business. You're going to need partners. That's what's going to happen.
Gotcha. Ooh, good question from Vinny. How do you deal with daisy chaining?
I don't really know what you mean. Like, in what way? Like that could mean so many. That's too vague of a question. I need Vinny
So
to like specify what he means by that.
the way I interpret this
Are
question
you
is
a
like, if
buyer?
the way I'm interpreting it is like if people send you like daisy chain deals.
Well, if you're trying to wholesale it, that's an issue because you don't know if you'll be able to actually get it. And if you're trying to buy it, that's also an issue because you don't know if you're able to get it. How I use daisy chainers is when I decide to wholesale, I have them send out my deal so that it gets more exposure. I know what daisy chaining is, but I don't know. But that's how I do it. I use daisy chainers to sell my deals, and then I don't buy from daisy chainers.
I like that. That's smart. Just kind of like flipping it and getting more exposure.
Use people's talents.
Bro, the other day somebody sent me an email and they CC'd everybody, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, I
There's
mean, I
all
would
these
take. Why not?
low key sent an email back saying, if you're reading this email, it's because a wholesaler CC'd you rather than BCCing you. Hi, my name is Nathan.
Right.
Yeah. Tina says, I've done 2 successful land deals that made me over 100,000 even after holding costs, and have 2 that I'm holding now. They are easy if you're willing to wait for development to progress. It's a gamble, I guess.
So yeah, if you're gonna developing is a gamble, right? I haven't done that, but I don't like the market ideas of it. Gambling or developing, you basically have to. Your project won't be done for a year or 2, year and a half to 2 years, and who knows what the economy is like in 2 years. Could be terrible, could be good. So you could make an extraordinary amount of money, or you could lose a ton of money. Or you could just sell the land, and that's one way to do it too. Just depends. But good job, Tina.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Bro. Okay. Let's have a couple of questions and take your time in answering these.
Sure.
I want to know what life looks like for you 10 years from now.
Oh, I'm incredibly wealthy. I've got a beautiful wife, kids. I don't know where I'm going to live, but I'll live in a mansion. I'll be just have my own community, helping people make millions upon millions of dollars. I'll be hanging out doing real estate. I'll probably own a nonprofit. Probably will have a VC company buying businesses. And then just hang out with friends and speaking everywhere, doing conferences, and just growing social media, growing private money, doing big boy deals, right? $100 million deals, $1 billion deals. That's the 10-year plan.
Okay. So if we go backwards and we try to
and a
figure out
huge
like,
company. I want the wholesaling company to be making like 20 to 30 million a year.
okay. That sounds pretty cool, bro. House, mansion, community that you're helping them make millions of dollars every single year. Wholesale company that's going very well. What does that look like going backwards? Like, what are the and Logan asks, are we free to ask questions? Absolutely, bro. Please keep putting your questions in the side chat. What does it look like going backwards? Like, what do you think the steps are that need to come before you achieve that goal?
So here's how I view it. And obviously I don't know if I'm right. How I view it is that we gotta have to stabilize. There are different levels. So first level is whatever your business is. Your business needs to be making you money. That's level one. A lot of people, that's a wholesaling business. That's like your audience, right? Have a business that's just stabilized money. What?
Oh,
You're
just
doing.
unlocking my camera.
And then that's level one. It's just make that where it's making you money and you're starting to get yourself out of it. And it's just paying you enough where at least you're eating and it's growing on its own. Level two is owning real estate, right? Now, level one, a lot of people, I think, should just keep their jobs. If they make more than 150K a year, just keep your job. Don't even start a business. Just have 150K and then go to level two. Level two is owning real estate. That can be single family, multifamily. I prefer multifamily. I think that's better. I think you'll actually get the scale that you need. This is to start getting rid of the taxes that you're having from your business. So if you do that and you get rid of the taxes by owning real estate, and then that's your wealth play. It's a boring wealth play where in like 30 years you're going to be wealthy thanks to it. And also, but right now it eliminates the taxes. So you don't have to pay nearly as many taxes on your business, which then makes it where your business just instantly became more profitable because you're just paying less in taxes and you didn't even do anything. So like, let's say I'm making 100K a month in my business, then I pay 35% in taxes. Really your business made, and then minus expense and not even including expenses, really it just made like $65,000. But if you get rid of that or at least reduce it, you instantly start making money and becoming more profitable. So that's level one. And then there's level two. And then level three is you start creating a VC fund where you just start buying businesses.
What is
because
VC?
really, once you have some money, you should start buying businesses because businesses will make you a lot more money than real estate. Real estate is like a long-term investment. Businesses make you money now, right? And when you start owning a portfolio of businesses, that's when you start really becoming wealthy. And one that's tied there is also lending out your extra money. I love being a lender. It's just so easy. I don't have to do anything. I just give you my money and then wait 6 months and then I get more money back. I love it. I love being a lender. I use other people's money and I also lend out my own money. Right?
You mentioned VC. What does VC mean? I'm lost
It means
on it.
venture capital. So basically, it's just a fancy way of saying you buy businesses and have a conglomerate of businesses, right? It's a specific. We could get into it. It's a specific type of what's called private equity. Private equity is the fancy name of buying businesses. Really, I'm going to start a private equity firm where I'm buying other businesses and then making them better, right? So that's how you do it. That's the 3-step process in an overview, right? I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the backwards.
Well, that final step, the venture capital, the buying businesses after you've gotten loads of real estate, does that accomplish your goal? Is there anything else that goes into accomplishing that goal?
That's the business goals, and then after that, along the way, it's giving tons of money to charity, potentially starting my own nonprofit, unless I find somebody who has a really good nonprofit that I really trust. Giving away my money, and then teaching other people all along the way. Probably in like a year or two, I'll probably start my own community, right? Let's get that going, and start teaching people how to make money, right? And that'll be like those two things will be like the heartwarming stuff. And then that was the business, like how to get insanely rich stuff.
I love it, bro. It sounds like there's some very fulfilling stuff along the way, like building the community, giving back.
Yep. And then like I don't know, and then I eventually have a family, and after that, I don't know what else is there to life.
Yeah. What comes after that? Eternal happiness? We'll see.
I don't know. At that point, it's just like, what even is there? There's family, friends, and then if you're super rich, then you're completely free to do whatever you want all the time. And then what else is there? You know?
Yeah. Good question, bro. Good question. It's funny because when I first was on my journey of entrepreneurship, I thought that money would buy happiness. And then I had a friend
Money buys
that,
freedom.
what's that?
That's what money buys freedom. That's it.
Does, but it doesn't buy happiness. I
No.
had a really big defining moment that helped me understand that. Was I had a friend that, he had a lot of money, but then his fiance broke up with him and he was really sad. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You have all that you need for your survival, but you're really sad. Like, give me your money. Like, I'll be
Here's
happy.
the thing, he doesn't have everything he needs for survival because he doesn't have that love anymore. People think that like just be like money is just physical resources, but you also need like emotional resources as well. Good network, good relationships, good romantic relationships. These are all very key to having a happy life, and you need all of them to be completely fulfilled in life, right? Um, so even if you think it's like you have everything you need, he doesn't. He has one of the most key things missing ever.
Hmm.
And I don't know why his fiance left him, but that means there's a lot in there that could be unpacked of like, well, what needs to change in his life, right? And an
Hmm.
accounting.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, because I guess like fulfillment in life is not just money. It's not just becoming super rich. It's what would you say are all the aspects of fulfillment in like if you were to use yourself as an example, what would you need to accomplish in life to feel fulfilled?
You ever seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
I
You know what
have,
that is?
yes. Yes,
I
but
mean, it's
let's
all of
explain it for
those
the
things.
audience.
We could, I don't remember it by what you need to do. Help me out. Let me share my
Yeah,
screen. Let me know if we're sharing my screen or when we're sharing my screen
we'll do.
or how to. There's some funny question. There's some funny comments in here. Boats and O's. One of my friends said space, the final frontier. There's some good comments in here.
Where is that one?
Boats and hose is just so not it. You can do hose without having any money, and it's not fulfilling at all.
Bro, you know what my thing for fulfillment is, bro? It's making humans a multiplanetary
Wait,
species.
my bad. Hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, I wasn't sharing the whole time.
Now at least it's up there to let me share my screen.
Boom. There you go. It's up.
But basically, it's just
Okay,
this.
so what are we looking at?
This is Haslow's my hierarchy of needs in a basic thing. You got to start with this stuff. This is like the basic shit, right? Then we're talking about employment. We're
Mhm.
talking about money is right here. Then love and belonging, which is like family, friends, all of that. And then we get into this is starting to get into status recognition. This is like social media, having everyone think you're awesome. And then eventually just getting to the point, the tip is just being like, now I'm just going to become the best person I can ever possibly become. Right.
Hmm.
So it's just starting with all of these and getting up here. And that's like the journey. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Like before anything else, you got to make sure you're alive, right? You got your physiological needs.
Yeah.
Then you got to make sure you stay alive. You got your safety needs. And then, you got to make sure you have the ability to grow and reproduce, which is pretty much having a family, loving and belonging. Um, and then after that, you have esteem. So, like being important, which I think that's like almost like a branch of safety, in my opinion. If people hold you in high esteem, you have the safety of living on longer, having more opportunities and whatnot. And then the final
Yeah.
one being self actualization of like just like I do me.
Yep. Exactly.
That's pretty
I
cool.
100% agree.
All right, so let's get some of these questions here before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Um
We can go a little bit
Ahmad,
over, by the way, in like a
okay,
rush.
awesome, dude. Thank you.
I don't know how long you've been in the wholesale business. What got you into it? I've been doing wholesaling for at least 3.5 years now. What got me into it was I realized it was just the best business ever. I was like, wow. Once I learned that, I was like, wow, I'm gonna make so much money at this. You don't need any You don't need any inventory. You don't need any money. You just need to be able to connect with other human beings and just do it. And there's tons of people doing it constantly. You don't even need to create a product. It's like, how could you not do it? Everyone around you has done a wholesale deal in real estate. How could you not?
Good stuff. Let's bang through these really quick so that everybody gets them. RC says, Jonah, how do you pay agents that bring you off market deals?
So it depends. If they have a listing agreement, the seller pays them. If they don't, then you just pay their commission. And if you're wholesaling, you take that out of your assignment fee, or you just take it into your cost when you're fix and flipping.
Blake says, how would you recommend a wholesaler build a business off of $500 to $1,000 a month budget to build?
I would. Okay, so I'm going to be biased here. I'm going to be completely biased. I would 100% buy my software, SimpleSend. I'm not really trying to sell it right now, but I'm just saying it's the best agent outreach software out there. I would get that, pay for the techs. I would go onto brokerage websites. Honestly, that's so much money to start a wholesaling business. I'm usually dealing
That's a
with lower
lot.
numbers. Yeah, like so many people have so much less money than that. I would buy that software. I could either, depending on your time, you could either go on to brokerage websites and put all their phone numbers into an Excel file sheet, or you can buy the scraper, which then scrapes all their numbers. That's also part of SimpleSend, and then you can upload it and then just call agents until you get a deal. You just have to choose a market. Like if you chose Northern California, I'll sell all your deals. You have to choose a market where there's a dispo wholesaler who has buyers, and then you just do that. Talk to 30 to 40 agents every single day. You'll get a deal in a month to 2 months, easily.
Good answer. Logan says, Jonah, when you were solo, how long did it take you to scale to one deal a month with agent outreach?
The 12 months. So after the
12
8
months.
months, I was getting like at least 1 to 2 deals a month.
Right. Ahmed, awesome dude.
Love it.
Ahmed is amazing. You know, Ahmed and Rustam are business partners, bro. They're posting their KPIs every single day. They're so committed. Like I hold them in
Keep
very high
grinding. Keep
esteem.
making it happen.
Yeah, I love these guys.
Love it.
Let's see here. Beliciaro says, when did it hit you to take on the commitment to run a business rather than contribute to one?
I never had a W-2, so I never really contributed to another business. It didn't hit me. It was more like I just couldn't do it. My story basically is I was abbreviating it earlier. My story basically is I come back from the Peace Corps. That's what I did. I graduate college. I go into the Peace Corps. I come back. I start applying for jobs. I get a job as an insurance salesman, and I'm driving home, and I'm thinking to myself, no, my life isn't going to end this way. It's not even going to start this way. I need to figure this out where I get financially free and I achieve all the dreams that I have for my life. And so that was like, I guess, the moment when it hit me, where I was like, no, we got to figure this out in that moment. Right. Yo, Tyler, he's on my Instagram. Tyler, sign the contract. We got a 15K. Did he freaking do it? I don't know. We'll see. I think he signed it. Hopefully he signed the contract. We have one we can lock up. All right, whatever.
That's awesome, bro.
He sent me a bunch of messages and didn't say he signed the contract. This guy.
Here, we got one last question here in the chat. Jonah, based on your experience back when you were solo, what KPIs daily did you need to hit in order to do one deal a month? What did your day look like, and what did your daily goals look like?
So based on your experience back when you were solo, what KPIs daily did you hit in order to? Honestly, when I was solo, I didn't track my KPIs. I didn't even know what a KPI was. You should. I was just like of the mindset of, if I just keep making calls, I will get a deal. And that's just what happened. When you're ready to build a business, you need to track KPIs, right? If you're ready to build a business, it'll be the first half of your day is intro calls. The second half of your day is follow-up calls. And another couple hours is submitting offers. Basically it.
For the people that don't understand what KPIs are,
Key
KPIs.
performance indicator, it's basically what you tracking yourself and what you're doing in the company.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Logan also says, how many agents did you have when you consistently did one deal a month?
How many agents do you have when you did consistently one deal a month? Oh God, I have no clue. Probably a couple thousand. It's hard for me. I don't remember. Maybe a couple hundred. This was a long time ago. We're talking like beginning of 2021. I don't remember.
Luke has a really good question as well. Which KPIs do you track now?
If you guys want, in that link that I was talking about earlier, where you get all my SOPs and all that stuff, you also get my KPIs. You get template tape KPIs. Instead of me answering the question, go follow Nathan, subscribe, go to his Instagram, subscribe to him on YouTube, and send me screenshots of all this, DM it to me in my Instagram, and then I will send you the link where you get all that stuff for free. But you have to follow Nathan on everything, all platforms.
Guys, there you go. That's
too.
Thank you, bro. That's sauce right there, guys. Like, go do that. Go follow me. Go send Jonah a screenshot and go get all of those SOPs, bro. I'm gonna figure out how to follow myself to get them.
Yeah, I'll just send you the link, Nathan, whenever you want it.
Thank you,
but
bro.
You can get everything for free if you just do that.
Awesome, dude. And for my audience that's on here, like, how do they find you? How do they continue to follow your journey?
So you can, if you want, you can subscribe on YouTube to me, which is just my name, and also follow me on Instagram. But and you'll learn a lot. I post a bunch about real estate investing in general, wholesaling, passive living, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's probably the best way to reach out to me.
Bet.
That's what I actually get it is just Instagram. I'll actually respond to your DMs on Instagram.
Oh, Instagram, Jonah Corchin.
Yeah, that's it. Then if you're interested in the CRM I was talking about, let me know. You can DM me. I'll send you the link. Or we could put it up here. It's like www.simplesend.com.
Let's do it, bro. Let me put it up. I think it's a really cool CRM.
Yeah.
Let me create a little banner for people.
But we can just DM me on Instagram. If it's gonna take you a while, don't worry about it.
No, I got it, bro. I got it. Did I spell that right?
Yeah. No, take out the E in simple. But it's just, that's what it is. It's simple send without the E in simple, basically.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I spelled it wrong.
No,
there we go.
Like that.
Okay.
And yeah, boom, and you can keep up with me on Instagram. If you need an outreach, a CRM meant for doing deals with agents, that's the one. It's completely what my business is based off of. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all I got.
Awesome, bro. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sorry, I'm tripping over my tongue. Thank you for providing so much value, bro. Thank you for answering all our questions. Really, really appreciate you, bro.
Always.
All right, guys.
You want, just let me know.
Absolutely, dude. I'll definitely call you on for a follow-up. Maybe we can do a doing real estate live event. My audience, bro, my audience loves doing real estate live.
People love that stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. Throw some hearts in the side chat. Throw some hearts in the side chat for Jonah. Go show him some love. Follow him on Instagram, Jonah Corchin. Check out his CRM. And I will see you guys all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adios.
Peace.